It was actually a really long process. I know it wasn't sort of I was, this militant atheist and all of a sudden had this lightning hit me and changed everything. It was I would say at least a year-long process, and I spent a lot of time thinking about it, a lot of time considering it, and I weighed so much evidence in that. My name is Karma Carrier. I've got a PhD in molecular biology from the University of British Columbia. I studied viruses, virus replication. I did some work, my postdoctoral work at Emory University School of Medicine, where I studied cancer virology. Since then, I've moved up to Boston, where I work in the biotech industry. When I was in my early 20s, when I was in university, I was actually an atheist. I had embraced a type of atheism known as Marxism, which I felt was the worldview that was most compatible with science. I really loved science. At this time, I had a big Soviet flag hanging in my bedroom. I went around quoting Joseph Stalin. I loved reading books by atheist authors such as Carl Sagan and Richard Dawkins. I was studying virology as part of my PhD, and one of my PIs asked me a question about an Ebola virus and said, what was the vector for the Ebola virus? And I said it was a monkey. And she basically said to me, saying, no, you're watching too many movies. No one knows what the vector for the Ebola virus is at this point. You just got that from a movie called Outbreak that was released a few months earlier. And she was right. And she said, I challenge you to actually spend more time trying to analyze every aspect of your life and applying a scientific standard to it. And what it came to the conclusion was, my own atheist belief, there's no more evidence to support that than there was to support Christianity or any other religious belief. In a sense, atheism was simply another religious point of view. I was at an institution where there were not a lot of other graduate students, and we didn't have a lot of people to spend time with, working long hours, but there's one group of people on campus who kept introducing themselves to me, wanting to do things with me, and those people were Christians. And my initial thought was actually they're a very odd group of people, always saying nice things, behaving very politely. They always wanted to spend time with me and asking me to do things, and I didn't know what they were on, but I knew I wanted some. And I just ended up spending time with these guys, and I thought, I like these guys. Looking into reading the Bible, and I think, over and over again, and I think it really was the crucifixion of Jesus that, just seeing what he'd gone to and suffer, and realizing that, someone who's loved me to sacrifice themselves for me. That's a thought ever occurred to me. When I became a Christian, that was actually the point of my baptism. And I just remember that night, that evening, and there was all kinds of songs and singing and celebration, and it was a campus ministry, and I really had a good time. And I just remember thinking that I was so much at peace. Prior to that, I was always anxious about everything, and I just remember just being a sense of peace with the world during that night.